After a pretty exciting episode last week, which went a crazy 51.5 minutes about a brand new theory I came up with, some of my friends don't believe it, but you know what, I try to convince them otherwise. But anyways, now that that's done with, we're going to get right back to our regular rhythm with yet another normal and exciting edition of the Tommy Maroon Sports Show right there on your screen. So we got to ask that trivia question yet again. When was the last time the Cleveland Browns reached the AFC Championship game? The answer is simple. It was in 1990. They lost to Denver 37-21. If you remember, that was mentioned in The Curse of Jim Brown, that documentary I had. Of course, I really had like the second half being the new Browns, and the first half was just everything that led up to 1995. But anyways, that was still a lot of fun. Really great to do it. But now we're going to get back to our regular stuff, which includes high school basketball. It's coming right here. And we got to look at boys' scores, which will be on your screen momentarily. See, I told you. Copley beat Aurora 73-57. Barberton continued their really great start, beating Roosevelt 35-33. Highland really pounded Talmadge 57-27. By the way, all these scores are last Friday night. Of course, Highland held a 14-2 lead at the end of the first quarter. I couldn't believe it. They did that good. Of course, last night they lost to Walsh 70-37. But back to the scores. Revere beat Orville 70-52. Stowe beat Cuyahoga Falls 64-63. North Royalton's been having a great season. They are 10-1. What? 10-1? You might be thinking, yes, they're 10-1. And yes, they've been on fire. 51-49 victory over Nordonia. Hudson beat Twinsburg 64-57. And Brecksville took down Wadsworth 47-37. Now the girls' scores. You know what that means? Gotta look at the girls' scores from last Saturday. So if those boys' games were from last Friday, this was the next day. Aurora beat Riverside 60-35 as Aurora continuing to do a great job. Highland beat Barberton 33-32 in what was a crazy, low-scoring, back-and-forth ball game. And Highland barely pulled away at the end, a good defensive stop. Talmadge beat Revere 39-36. Stowe is 8-0. Holy cow, they are 8-0, including a 39-28 victory over Brecksville. Wadsworth beat Hudson 61-44. Cuyahoga Falls beat North Royalton 44-24. And Nordonia, being that great team they are, 59-34, beating over Twinsburg. Time to look for next Friday night, or this Friday night I should say. Revere boys team halfway through a perfect American Conference season, 6-0. They need to do it one more time. Barberton is on Revere's tail. They are 5-2. Barberton, big game on Friday night at home against Highland. Highland hung in it, and then it just all fell apart in the third quarter. We'll see if they can hang in it this time, but the Purple Bears are undefeated in National Conference. That's right, North Royalton. Highland girls team is looking for a big win tonight against Medina. Unfortunately, I will not be there to cover it for the YouTube channel, the Highland Hornets Sports Network. As you see right there on the bottom of your screen, all home Hornets games on the Highland Hornets Sports Network. Subscribe to it on YouTube. We are almost at 100 subscribers. That's really exciting. But anyways, they're playing Medina at Medina tonight. Please come to the game. I wish I could, but you know what? I plan on doing the one against Aurora 2 weeks from now. Should be a good one, too. So, not just that, but the Aurora team, speaking of them, they're halfway through not halfway through a perfect season. They are 5-0 in the American Conference and 8-2 altogether, which is pretty impressive. So, once again, all that exciting stuff. Maybe I'll upload a video for the pep assembly for the Hornets they have on Friday, which should be exciting. Big game against Barberton, but let's go Cavs right now because we need to look at player stats, which is heading into Monday's games. Colin Sexton averaging 18.7 points per game. Kevin Love with 16.9 points per game, 10.3 rebounds. Tristan Thompson with 13 points per game, 10.6 rebounds. And hot new acquirement, the Australian-born Dante Exum, 10.3 points per game. We trade Jordan Clarkson to get him, and Dante has not been that bad indeed. Obviously good with Matthew Dellavedova. Makes sense, they're both Australian in the first place. So you got that. And we need to look at the Cavs' attendance right now. Attendance has always been a number I like. But here's why. The Cavs so far this season have had 361,597 total fans per season, of course. That's 9th in the NBA for total fans, which goes to show that though this has been a real struggle, the Cavs still have a huge fan base. 18,079 fans per game, which is pretty darn close to sell out, about 2,000 short. That's 15th in fans per game, which is right down the middle of it. Guess that's not bad. And not to mention, oh, that's pretty impressive, especially considering the fact that the Rock's total capacity is 20,562. That's right, it's no longer the Q. It hasn't been the Gun in 15 years. It's a Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, or as I like to call it, simply the Rock. Alrighty, so now we need to look at the Cavs scores. They were on a Western Conference road trip, and it got off to a great start when we beat the Nuggets. Yes, we made them look like McNuggets out there with a 111-103 victory. I swear, the Nuggets were second seeded in the Western Conference. I believe they're still second seeded. They just attacked them. Kevin Love, 19 points, 15 rebounds. Tristan, 18 points, 13 rebounds. Heck, even Cedi Osman got in the party. 11 points, 12 rebounds, all right there at the Pepsi Center. And meanwhile, for the other side at Denver for the Nuggets, or McNuggets is what it was more like, Jamal Murray had 24 points. Nikola Jokic, the big man for Denver, 19 points and 12 rebounds. As we look to the Cavs and Lakers coming up right now. As you see me with that water. Lakers won, unfortunately, 128-99. And the Lakers were riding a 9-game winning streak when the game was over. LeBron James did LeBron James things, as we all expect out of him. 31 points, 8 rebounds. Dwight Howard had 21 points and 15 rebounds. I guess Dwight Howard still got it. And Kevin Love had 21 points, 11 rebounds. Tristan, 17 points, 10 rebounds. In fact, the Cavs were leading by 14 at one point. Just to show how good the Lakers have been, this was without Anthony Davis, who has been struggling with injuries. AD and LeBron both struggling with injuries, and the Lakers are still finding ways to win. Oh, man, we all thought LeBron's career was over last year with the injuries and stuff, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to silence everybody who says that. I'm going to win. That's what LeBron said, and he is showing it out there as the Lakers look like they're easily going to win the mighty Western Conference. And speaking of Los Angeles, next night we were back at the Staples Center. That was last night against the Clippers, and the Clippers won 128-103. So that means we have gone 12-29 halfway through the season. We are on pace for an impressive 24 wins, actually. Guess that's not bad for a rebuilding team. As we all know, Cavs are definitely rebuilding. Kawhi Leonard, 43 points. Lou Williams, Mr. Sixth Man himself, 24 points. He is fed up with the fact that he's not starting, and he is showing it on the court. He's like, you know what? I'm sick of the fact that I'm a sixth man. Let me play on the court. Let me show you that I'm not a sixth man, but an everyday starter. Colin Sexton had 25 points. Darius Garland, 14 points and 10 assists. In fact, Los Angeles scored 40 points in the third quarter. Absolutely crazy. So, of course, the NFL divisional round. So, Brown season is over, as we all know. Kevin Stefanski is the head coach. I'm really unsure about it because I remember I was so excited. Freddie Kitchens is our head coach. That's what I was like. And then I realized that he was a stupid, fat former quarterback. And so I don't know. I'm not sold on Kevin Stefanski. I'd really be happy if we got Mike McCarthy, but that was Dallas. And, of course, I'm happy we kind of passed on J-Mac because J-Mac has really bad relationships with people, Josh McDaniels. And, of course, you saw that he got into fights with Tom Brady constantly. Sure, he won 6 Super Bowls, but you got to remember, Bill Belichick's the main man, not the offensive coordinator. Bill Belichick, the greatest coach maybe in the history of football. Probably the greatest coach in the history of football. So, is Kevin Stefanski for real? I don't know. Speaking of Stefanski, his last game with the Vikings was against the 49ers in Santa Clara. And guess what happened? The 49ers won it 27-10. San Francisco on their way to their first NFC championship since 2013. And Jimmy G, 11 for 19, 131 yards and 1 touchdown. Tevin Coleman had 22 carries, 105 yards and 2 TDs. Kirk Cousins, 21 for 29, 172 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 INT. He threw a 41-yard touchdown strike to Stephon Diggs in the first quarter. That was Stephon Diggs' second career postseason touchdown. We all know what the first one was, the Minneapolis Miracle, probably the greatest play in the history of the NFL. And Marcus Sherrills had a fumble on a punt return of the third quarter for Minnesota. It just fell apart for the Vikings. So now the Ravens against the Titans. Guess what happened? The Titans won. I'm not joking. Tennessee won. It was a final score of 28-12. I'm not a Titans fan, but oh ye gods, they've pulled off 2 upsets now. New England and Baltimore. God bless Mike Vrabel. God bless Mike Vrabel for being such a genius, for beating Tom Brady and then beating Lamar Jackson. What? It's the first time Tennessee is going to the AFC Championship since 2002 when they lost to the Raiders. Ryan Tannehill, 7 for 14, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry did Derrick Henry things. 30 carries, 195 yards, and 1 passing touchdown too. That's right, 1 passing touchdown. It was a 3-yard passing touchdown that really got stuff going in the third quarter for the Titans. I ever tell you that Derrick Henry is for real and that Derrick Henry is definitely the best running back in the NFL? Lamar Jackson definitely had a great day. 31 for 59, 365 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, and an incredible 143 rushing yards. But you can only do so much. You can only do so much, I guess. Titans held a 14-6 lead at halftime, which was absolutely crazy. Maybe Mike Vrabel knows it. Is Mike Vrabel the next big coach? Who knows? Who knows? Now, time for the next AFC divisional game. It was at Arrowhead Stadium. That's right, the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Houston Texans. And Kansas City won a crazy 51-31 blowout. Even though it was a crazy game, it was pretty close than what the score says. In fact, the Chiefs became the first team, or should I say, no, the Texans became the first team in the history of playoff football to blow a 20-point lead and lose by 20 points. Bill O'Brien definitely had some miscues out there. And they were up 24-10 at one point. Patrick Mahomes things, 23 for 35, 321 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Travis Kelce, 10 receptions, 134 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's right, Travis Kelce, the big tight end. Deshaun Watson, 31 for 52, 388 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And the Chiefs had 7 consecutive touchdown drives. They were that good. Either that or Houston just blew apart, or Bill O'Brien had no clue what he was doing. Seattle and Green Bay at Lambeau Field. The Packers were able to hold off a comeback, 28-23. And it was thanks to the referees who, once again, thanks to our good friend Ref Ball, the Packers won the game. As you can tell on that play, he was about a yard short. With he stumbles, he falls down. That's a 4th down and inches. A phone call there to a former Seahawk tight end, Jimmy Graham. A good stop by Hill. And you never know. Maybe the Seahawks would have done what the Titans did to the Packers. Titans did to the Patriots, I should say. Because remember, they were 1 yard away, the Patriots, and they just couldn't get in the end zone. And maybe Seattle would have gotten a big drive because Russell Wilson is a great postseason quarterback. Anyways, continuing to the game, 16 for 27 was Aaron Rodgers with 243 yards and 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones had 21 carries, 62 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Devontae Adams caught both of Aaron Rodgers' touchdowns because he's Devontae Adams, one of the best receivers in the NFL. He also had 8 receptions and 160 yards. Russell Wilson continuing what was a great season, 21 for 31, 277 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyler Lockett had 9 receptions, 136 yards, and 1 touchdown. And of course, the booth reviewed it, and he was a little short, but they called it first down. Thank you, ref ball, said Green Bay. Why ref ball, said all Seattle. So we will see what happens. It'll be San Francisco. That's right, San Francisco going up against Green Bay. And before that, it will be Kansas City against Tennessee. My picks, Tennessee is going to win because Derrick Henry has been playing like an absolute god in the postseason. And the Packers. I just say the Packers because Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is just a great playoff quarterback. And when it comes down to the Hail Mary, he is a master of the Hail Mary. So we shall see if it comes down to one play. Aaron Rodgers could definitely do something for the Pack. So expect a Green Bay, Tennessee Super Bowl. Who would have thunk it? Tennessee pretty much just annihilated all of our brackets, annihilated it. Everybody's hopes of a Baltimore-New England AFC Championship game. That was like, you know what? Tennessee's like, you know what? Goodbye. Goodbye to it. We'll do it. We will go to the AFC Championship. So I'm excited for it. Wrap up is this question. What team won the last NFL championship game? That's right. What team won the last NFL championship game? We will reveal the answer next week on the Tommy Maroon Sports Show. So stay tuned for it and make sure you watch it because it will be, once again, a lot of fun.